Are you serious? Are you serious? This is a picture of Dr. Lester Sumrall standing there in the center with Ariel Sharon and a reporter from the Jerusalem Post. This picture was taken not long before the death of Dr. Lester Sumrall. Of course, today we know that Ariel Sharon has died. Now, I was on this trip when this picture was taken. Actually, this was during when Dr. Lester Sumrall's last trip to Israel in 1996. It was my first time to go to Israel, and I actually went on tour with Dr. Sumrall. I had never met him before until he called me out of the crowd. One of three ministers he called out of the crowd and prophesied over, and each one of us individually, he laid hands on me there in Jerusalem and prophesied that our ministry would touch the nations of the world. That was so many years ago. Well, Dr. Sumrall has long gone. He died 6 weeks later after that. And now Ariel Sharon has died today. We've got other breaking news, though. With Sharon's death comes the hatred from some of the Palestinian terrorist groups. Let me show you a picture right now. Rockets have been fired out of Gaza into Israel. I repeat, rockets have been fired not long ago. Breaking news out of Gaza into Israel. Hours. The jihadists are firing from Gaza. Even though the nation of Israel is in mourning, the bloody irony is that it certainly drives home the point on how wrong Sharon was to give the land away to the jihadists, according to some people, because it's a terrible lesson that we are learning now. Hours after Ariel Sharon's death, rockets were fired from Gaza at Israel on January the 11th, 2014, today, the same day of Ariel Sharon's death. Just hours after his death was announced, the jihadists in the Gaza Strip fired rockets toward the house where the Ariel Sharon's family have gathered. A Qassam rocket was fired from the Gaza Strip at southern Israel Saturday evening, not far from where relatives of the late ex-Prime Minister Ariel Sharon had gathered at a family home. Red alert sirens sounded in the area near the coastal city of Ashkelon, but no impact was reported. Palestinian sources reported Israeli retaliatory airstrikes into the Gaza Strip shortly thereafter. There has been no confirmation of those reports, but Israel evacuated the Gaza Strip under Ariel Sharon's orders back in 2005. 2 years later, the Palestinian Islamic group Hamas forcefully took over the coastal enclave, expelling members of the governing Fatah party. Hamas on Saturday called Sharon's death a historical moment that marked the disappearance of a criminal whose hands were covered with Palestinian blood. That is the response by the Palestinians. They called him a criminal. They hated him. They could not stand him. And they are still with no respect right now, no respect for the family of Ariel Sharon who has died. Again, here's a picture of Ariel Sharon. He's on the left. Dr. Lester Sumrall, the great evangelist, standing there in the center, and a reporter from the Jerusalem Post on the right. As I said, Dr. Lester Sumrall laid his hands on me in Jerusalem in 1996 and prophesied over me. There was 500 people that were in that banquet hall that day when Dr. Sumrall was speaking, and we went on a tour. I actually rode in a boat earlier that day across the Sea of Galilee with Dr. Lester Sumrall. It was probably about 200 people on the boat, on his boat, and we took 3 boats across the Sea of Galilee because he had such a large tour. Over 500 people went on the tour. And that evening, as he was speaking at dinner, when everybody's eating in a large banquet hall, he's standing up there behind the podium speaking, and he came out behind the podium and picked 3 of us out of the crowd and said he had a prophecy from the Lord. And he prophesied over each one of us. I do not know what he said to the other 2 gentlemen. I have no idea, because I just know that when he laid his hands on me and the power of God came upon me, and he began to prophesy what thus saith the Lord. He told me that the Lord was going to use my ministry mightily to touch the nations of the world. Now, I was a young minister, of course, and I did not see how in the world that could ever happen. Ariel Sharon, standing next to him there, of course, a tremendous war hero, leading the in the 1967 war, helping take back the entire city of Jerusalem and liberating it. Also leading the charge, and he also freed the many of the Jews during the times of the Yom Kippur War. He helped win that battle as well in 1973. But of course, it's controversial because he is hated and was hated by many of the Palestinians. And that's evident today as we are seeing, again, I'll show you rockets flying out of Gaza. They were fired out of Gaza toward Israel just hours after the announcement that Ariel Sharon had died, and they fired this rocket toward the home of where Ariel Sharon's relatives had gathered this evening, mourning the death of Ariel Sharon. So, the peace process continues, folks. Yes, the peace process continues, but you can believe this. It is very volatile, a very volatile situation with the death of Ariel Sharon. Also, we know that Yitzhak Kaduri, the Rabbi Kaduri, his prophecy when he was 108 years old, of course, his prophecy was that on the death of Ariel Sharon, that the Messiah, Jesus Christ, would come to Israel shortly. Now, I don't know if he meant appear to them or be revealed to the nation of Israel that he is the Messiah, that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. But certainly, Rabbi Kaduri prophesied that he had come to the knowledge that Jesus Christ was truly the Messiah, and that he had seen and been revealed to him that the Messiah was Jesus Christ. And he was at 108, the oldest rabbi in Israel, was letting the rest of the rabbis know that the Messiah that they're looking for has been revealed. He is Jesus Christ, or Yeshua, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. Just thought I would share this photo. This photo was actually, we just got our hands on it from Facebook, from the grandson of Dr. Lester Summerall, who just posted it, that his grandfather had met and knew Ariel Sharon. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. Pray for Israel tonight. They are mourning the loss of a great man. And pray for also that cooler heads prevail, that we don't have any more rockets fired and no more bloodshed. Instead, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and peace in the Middle East.